What up, y'all? We're doing a book
Livestream
club.
Book club.
Got him.
So, hello T and hello Chelsea.
Who wasn't this book great? I'm so glad I chose it, and it was my pick.
You fell asleep listening to the synopsis twice.
I'm so glad I got you guys to read this book because it was so good.
Hello, Nemo.
Project Hail Mary, by the way. If you guys are here, you probably saw the title.
Can't get my hand out of the way.
Damn, this book was good.
So, I love that every single time I read the synopsis to you, you were just like, I wasn't paying attention.
Synopses don't matter.
I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't paying attention.
The synapses don't matter, man. They just
Hello,
they don't
Kerbo.
matter. The book, on the other hand.
So if you haven't read this book, you effed up.
You effed up.
And you need to read this and then come back and watch this so we can talk all spoilers.
Freaking great. Honestly, it's on the cusp of being.
He's like, you chose it. Ha 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 ha.
It's on the cusp of being like the best book of this year so far for me.
Wow.
I honestly it was so fun and great.
Like I said to you while I was reading it, there wasn't a single point in time where I was like, how much time do I have left?
I finished it in 3 days, and I listened only to it at work. So you can see, like, I drive around during the day quite often, probably half my day. So half of my day was spent pretty much listening to the book. Several times I got a call from this girl. She's like, hey, I'm going to go get my tea. Do you want to talk for 10 minutes?
And
I'm like, no, I kind of want to listen to a book. You know, I kind of don't want to talk to you. If you could just leave me alone, that would be swell.
But like I said, like when I was reading it, several times I was just like, I haven't even looked at how much time I have left. Like, I don't even care.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
I was looking at the time because I was like sad it was going to end soon. I was like, oh no, this is going to end. There was like so many like super emotional times.
I cried 3 times.
When I was like, this is emotional. I'm sad. It's so great. So obviously we both gave it stars. We already know this. We gave it stars.
What did you guys rate it? I would like to know.
And who read it?
Yeah. You inspired me to make wands.
Oh, thanks.
All right.
Cool. You should read books too. That's another good thing. Like, join us we do a book club every month. You could join us. You can get some free books if you use our Amazon link down below. You can get some audio books for free. Join us. Have fun. Hang out.
He makes wands while listening to audiobooks
all the time. That's it. That's the only
only thing you do at home when you're listening to audiobooks, or
the only time I listen to audiobooks at home is when I'm making wands. Yeah. Yes.
All right. So, yeah, I want to know what everyone rated it.
It's a great thing.
What's funny though is we were talking about the parts of the book that we each cried, and they were different parts. Like,
yeah,
which
T,
makes
you gave it a 4, 4.5. Get out of here, T. Get out of here, T. What the hell?
He's gonna hate anyone that doesn't give it a 5 stars.
It's a 5.
Chelsea, 5 stars.
It's a 5 or a star. It's a 5 star or like a 10 star. It's
otherwise, you're wrong. Apparently.
Otherwise, get the hell out of here. You have terrible taste. T, you letting me down. We agree on most things, most books. But this time, I feel bad for you because if you can't see the amazingness of this book, it's disappointing.
I rated it a question because I didn't read it. You need to read it, Kerbo.
Bro.
Read it.
Bro, Audible right now. You have Amazon Prime. I already know that. So, so you can literally get like 2 books for free if you use that link down below. If you don't already have it, listen to this is a good book. You like Star Wars. I know you like Star Wars. It's not very Star Warsy, but it is sci-fi.
It's just so freaking good. Anyway, you should leave so you don't get it messed up.
I want you to be here to view.
100 out of 10.
Just mute it and then don't listen to it, but stay in the stream so we get the view. And maybe comment occasionally. Be like, hey, I'm still here.
But anyway, so I found it funny because we were talking about the parts that made us emotional. Like, I teared up when he found out. Now, this is going into spoiler territory.
Well, we don't have to. We could just talk about Rocky. We don't have to go into details about Rocky.
So when I thought,
his buddy Rocky.
No. So when our main guy finds out he doesn't have to die.
Grace.
Yeah. So when he finds out he doesn't have to die, and Rocky's like, "Oh, he's like, I have plenty. I give to you. You don't have to die." And he's like, "What?" He's like, and then the part that got me was like when Rocky goes, I happy you not have to die. I was just
yeah.
I'm gonna cry.
And then, so just so you know, a Hail Mary pass is a long shot. It's basically like a term that you use for like something that's probably gonna fail, and there's a very small chance of success, but it's our last chance. So that's where the Hail Mary name comes from. So people that don't know sports.
So
there you go.
I cried then, and then I cried when
he was like,
Rocky,
"Hey, buddy, I'm here, buddy. I'm here. I came back for you." He's like, "Grace? Question?"
Grace question?
And then he's like,
oh my God, I cried during that part too.
I just got goosebumps just from thinking about it.
I cried at that part, and I also cried when he like came back, like Rocky came back, like after being like dead-ish.
I was like so worried that they were gonna do like that like betrayal arc type thing where they always do in books, where like oh, Rocky was actually a bad guy and he actually sabotaged his I forgot what they were called, the stuff that they found that they like bred to make better. I was like I really hope Rocky didn't sabotage Grace's ship and like.
No, I love the fact that they were friends through and through, like.
And then he said "ass" at the end. He's like, "Go to work, you old ass man," or something like that. I was like,
he started learning like American lingo or like insults. They just had such a good relationship, and I cried when he came back. Obviously, when he
blew out his like radiator.
No, I mean like with that part.
I was like, oh no.
Remember when he like, yes, Grace question. It's definitely going to be one of my all-time favorites of the year. That's Chelsea. That's a great point. Couldn't hear because you're muted, but you seemed very excited.
Okay. I get it.
No, when he came back, like he was on his way to Earth and Rocky was on his way to his planet, and then he decides to go save him. That's when I cried for like the third time.
Yeah, Grace question. Look, guess I got goosebumps again. Just from reading what you wrote, I got goosebumps.
It was so freaking good. And then like that weekend that I finished this book and you hadn't, I don't think you even started it yet.
Nope.
I was like, oh, everything kept popping in my head. Like you would say certain things and I was like, oh, it reminds me of this book so bad and I can't say anything.
And you didn't write it down.
No.
To tell me later, because that's the type of person you are. You just let things slip away and just forget about them forever.
Into the unknown.
That's a song. Did you know that?
Yeah.
It goes like this. Into the unknown.
So what I also found was like done really well if you listen to the audiobook was how they make him Rocky talk. Mm-hmm. Like at first it's just like sounds.
Is beautiful.
They did a really good job because like I
like it at the end when he was like, oh yeah, I've been here for.
Yeah.
I was just like, I
wonder how that looks actually. So I actually found myself going back in like because I was listening to it in Audible and I brought the book out and I was like, how did they do Rocky's part?
I don't like, and I like how they did, how they like left it like open-ended to like what actually happened on Earth, you know, how many people died, all that stuff. It's like cool because like it's like, did we really need to know that at the end? Because like obviously this is like it's like a first-person thing, the Grace thing. I loved the twist with he wasn't a hero, you know. I thought that those.
What do you mean he wasn't a hero?
He didn't choose to go.
Oh, yeah.
He was a coward about it.
So this is how they do his voice.
Oh, just music notes.
Yeah.
Got it.
So I was like, oh, that's cool. Like in the audiobook, and I'm like, how did they do that in like the regular book? So it's like a bunch of notes in case you didn't read the physical book. But now I want to see how they do Grace at the end.
Probably the same thing. And then he still became a teacher at the end. That was cool. I wish there was like an illustration of what Rocky looked like.
Yeah, because he has like 5 arms, right?
Yeah,
it's like weird.
He's like a starfish, a Rocky starfish. Well, some starfish have more arms than 5, so. But he also like is like a spider, starfish, a spider, 6-legged spider, 5-legged. He also doesn't have a front and a back. He's just kind of like neutral. I loved. I didn't think that there was going to be aliens in this. Honestly, like
he's talking. Oh, they show the symbols. So it's like, remember how Rocky uses symbols for his numbers? So like in this book, they use those symbols. I don't know. I like how like Rocky can kind of be cranky toward him.
I liked there was a lot that I liked about the fake science, which was based on real science, but it was like
he's amazing at doing that stuff though. Because like the Martian was the same thing.
Is he like an engineer or something?
No, dude, he's like.
Is he a professor of futuristic stuff?
Actually, he's a software engineer.
Okay.
He's been a software engineer for 2 years, but his hobbies, 2 decades. I'm sorry, so 20 years.
He said 2 years.
20 years.
I was like,
he's a lifelong space nerd, devoted hobbyist of such subjects as relativistic physics, orbital mechanics, and the history of manned space flight. Those are some boring ass hobbies to me.
I would totally watch a YouTube video about all of those things, and I usually will.
I usually won't, and I still loved the book.
I loved this book so much, man.
You sleep, I watch. Yes, you said that to me the other day.
Yeah, because you always ask me like, "Go to sleep with me," and I'm like, "You sleep, I watch." Yeah. Question.
I cried at the end too. I don't know if I cried at the end. I can't remember.
I was happy at the end.
Yeah, I was just like, he's an old man. Now he's still a teacher.
Also,
he's teaching the other.
What about me
Iridians.
burgers?
What?
What about me burgers?
Oh, that was kind of gross, right?
What about me burgers? Would you guys do it? Would you eat me burgers?
I mean, they were like grown synthetically, right?
You burgers, not me burgers, but like you burgers. Would you do it?
Hello.
I think I would. If I didn't have any sort of meat ever, I would be like, yeah, I need some me burgers, please. They could also just like send somebody to like Earth from their planet, you know?
How many years did it take? I can't remember.
I think it would have been like 50 years to go and come back or something like that.
It was Happy crying. Oh, Happy cried, I think, twice.
I like that, like, the bad guy was the problem. You know, the problems were the villain. There wasn't like
the astrophage.
Yeah, there wasn't a being that was like evil, and the astrophage wasn't evil. It was just
surviving,
a nature thing, you know. I liked it, and that's I think it's like a big relief because it's always like the bad guy, you know.
How did they? So he said, "You, if you don't have a choice, but you." I think I would just skip out on meat and just become vegetarian. But that's what I was thinking. Like, I don't remember what he said he was eating on his planet. I don't know if he
would do that, man. It's.
I don't eat meat.
Okay. But you also would literally just be eating a bunch of like.
What was he eating? I don't remember.
When?
When he was living with the Iridians on their planet.
They made food that would sustain him and taste better. But it took them a while to figure out like the taste thing for him. So he had things that tasted good, but you can't imitate meat. Come on, what do you think this is? Impossible Burger? Come on.
I mean, they were super smart. You suck at math.
Well, I mean, they were smart, yes, but in a different way, right? Like because they evolved in a different way. Imagine though that like living in a bubble that if you left the bubble, you would instantly be vaporized.
Well, he like burned, like literally.
Oh, when he moved them or whatever.
And then like when Rocky went into his atmosphere.
Rocky moved him.
Yeah. But he got burned too when he was trying to save Rocky, didn't he?
I would love to see like more information about how Rocky works. I feel like he's like a real thing.
Yeah.
That like functionally would exist. So to me, it's like I want to know more. I want some like a diagram, like you know those books that you get with like the human body split and like you can see the layers of the muscle. I want that. I want just like a poster with Rocky on it.
Oh my God, the part though where he thought he was super like awesome because he blew out the radiator and then Rocky's like, you almost killed me, dude.
Yeah, that black stuff my body creates to
He's like, wait, I basically blew off your scab. And I was like, gross. But at the same time, oh my God, you almost killed Rocky. He's like, good thing my body was healed enough.
But he saved him. Because he put him back in his environment.
Yeah.
And that helped him survive. If he hadn't.
Well, that was after. So he had him in his environment for like a couple days, I believe. And then he still didn't wake up. So then he tried the radiator
But if he hadn't put him in there, he would have died.
Yeah. He burned his hand. I thought it was his arm.
I think it was his arm too.
I just loved Rocky as a character.
They were both great. They were both good. The science was great.
He was hilarious
the centrifuge thing was cool. Like the idea that different metal that they had, the 2-part thing, and the beetles were cool. Like every part of that freaking book was awesome. I honestly thought that those 2 science specialists that were going to go on the crew, I thought they were going to like fall in love and run away together. That was the obvious thing, right? Because they were all about like, yeah, we're just having sex.
I thought like something's got to happen.
It's just casual, and you know, we know that one of us is gonna die because only one of us gets to go. And then I was just like, they're gonna do that. They're gonna run away, and then that's how he gets put on the ship. That's why, and then he volunteers maybe because he knows. I was not. But it does make him more interest.
It does make it more interesting that he, up to the end, didn't want to go, and like. He was the one that ended up saving
Rocky
her.
was his only friend. He can't die. Rocky, you can't die. You're my only friend. His name was Rocky, and his girlfriend, or his...
Why did he name him Rocky?
Because he was made of rocks. Are you serious?
What?
Because he was made of rocks.
I don't remember that.
Because Rocky's skin is like a carapace, like rock material.
I guess.
He sees this rock spider come out.
Oh my God! Can you imagine?
And he called him Rocky. Like that's okay. That's fine. You know what I mean? Why does that not make sense to you? Wait, what do you mean?
I forgot. Like to me, I just thought of it
it's
as
like you get a cat,
a carapace. Like I forgot that he looked like a rock.
You get a cat, and
you name
fluffy.
it Kitty.
It's Fluffy, so you name it Fluffy. Why'd you name it Fluffy again? Because I have a naked cat. It's a sphinx or a naked cat. It's ironic that I named it Fluffy.
Obviously. I love how for once the humans have the big tech and not the other way around. Like if the alien always had to be more advanced. I love how they explain that. How they explain that
they're on the same level.
They're on the same level, and that's how they met up.
Because if they were too advanced, then they would figure out. They would have already figured out a way to get rid of the astrophage. And then if they were too low, they would just die.
Yep.
And not have a way to figure it out. So that's the only reason that they both encountered each other.
I thought that was such a cool explanation.
There may be more life. Because and also they kind of explained that like life came from that planet. Like that planet was where life started. Yeah. Possibly.
Yep.
Super interesting.
Well, that's why at the end he was like, do you ever think about there being more life out there? And he was like, yeah.
I didn't think the part about the sex thing was awkward. I thought it was hilarious.
It was a bit awkward because he was awkward. He was like, okay.
He's like, oh, what do I do? And then the guy's like, so I told him about our situation, and she's like, okay, good, yeah. And then they start their lesson, and she's like,
what about the time when they were talking about how they wanted to die?
Oh yeah,
I was like, oh my God, I can't even think about that.
Like that's one of those things, like Chekhov's gun or whatever. Like they talked about the nitrogen. They talked about the drugs.
Heroin or whatever.
Yeah. And it was used later. It wasn't just useless information. Yeah. It was something that was...
There was a reason it was in the ship.
Yeah. There was a reason he remembered it. There was a reason that we learned about that information. It wasn't just useless information to be there for no reason.
I thought it was also hilarious when he kept calling him stupid. Like when he was on drugs, when he was taking painkillers, he's like, you stupid. But he kept calling him stupid anyways. Like, humans terrible at math.
If you go to the end of the book and you look at Rocky's speech, can you find his speech at the end? It's legit. Just sounds like it's like a normal person speaking. He no longer speaks in like broken English anymore.
I mean, shoot.
Just it's like at the end. It's in the last chapter.
I know.
It's at the end of the book. You gonna read it?
Hold on, I'm finding it.
Just start reading anywhere. They talk to each other the whole end, probably most of it, some of it.
Yes, your star has returned to full luminance.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Like blah blah percent certainty? Yes, the data was analyzed by a thrum of blah blah astronomers. It checks out. And then he's like, I can't move. I can barely breathe. I start to tremble. It's over. We won. Simple as that. We won. We did it. Rocky cocks his carapace. Hey, your face is leaking. I haven't seen that in a long ass time.
See how he just talks normally now? Like they've gotten so fluent with
Remind me, does that mean you're happy or sad? Because it can mean either one, right? Yes. I'm happy, of course. Yeah, I thought so. Just checking.
Are you crying, Meek?
No. Is this a fist bump situation?
Oh yeah, fist me.
This is a
when he said
monumentally
fist
epic
me?
fist bump situation.
Remember when he fist
Yeah,
me?
yeah.
He said another one too. He said fist me, and then he also said like some other play on that.
But that's the time he swore, because the other time he didn't. He just says, "Go do your job, old man."
Oh, that's when he swore? Okay.
Yeah.
Still, he called him old man.
Yeah, yeah. No,
That's
you're
funny.
right. Will you go home now, or will you stay?
And he's like,
He's like, dude, I can't. I'll die. I'm getting old and the trip is long. Speaking from a selfish perspective, I hope you stay, but that's just me.
See, I think we made my point. My point was that you just want to reread that book.
I just love it so freaking much.
Yeah.
If you haven't read it.
Book of the year, man. Book of the year contender right now, honestly.
I kind of like, I know T wanted to read Artemis, and I kind of want to read Artemis, but I think I want to wait a little bit because I know it's not going to be better than this book. Because everyone, like, the consensus is like, this is probably his best book so far.
Again, I get that, but like I still feel like I don't trust other
No one
people's
likes that
opinions.
book as much as The Martian. Basically, Martian came out and everyone loved it. Artemis came out and everyone was disappointed. And then this one came out and everyone loves it.
Okay.
So I just don't want to read it yet. I will read it, but yeah. So freaking good. I don't know what else to say about it. I
Me
feel like
neither.
we would have more to talk about. Usually books like we super love or super hate, like we have more to talk about. But I just think like their relationship was awesome. Just like the little things they would say back and forth were amazing.
As usual, only like 2 people in our Patreon read it. So shame on all of you that didn't read it. You guys suck.
And you're missing out.
Also, you guys were all excited about it.
I know everyone.
Everybody's like, "Oh my god, it's gonna be so
and everyone already
great.
owned it.
Oh, we all already own it." And then like nobody freaking reads it. So shame on you. Tisk tisk.
Chewy chewy.
What's the thing? How do you do it?
This?
Is it like this?
I don't know.
Take that. Take that.
Anyone want to talk about any other part of the book? I can't think of any.
Oh, what about when he pulled his catheter out?
It is very painful from what I understand. He could literally
God damn it.
die from that, from like getting an infection. Jessica read it too. She did. Well, where is she? Did she say ahead of time she wasn't going to make it? I know
hates
someone
us.
else said they couldn't make it. Comment inserted here. So yeah, that led to me figuring out what next month's book club book is, which was very difficult because I knew that no matter what we chose, it would not meet the expectations now in place because this book was so awesome. But I bought this book a while ago and I haven't read
Kakashi.
it. Sword of Kaigen. And I've heard really good things about it. And everyone seems to be talking about it lately. I've had it for a while and I haven't read it, but it seems to be like a hot topic recently. So hopefully people will read it. I don't know.
You're not even holding it in the shot.
Me.
You know, I really hope people will read this book right here.
Friends.
By the way, Jessica is a vampire. She doesn't sleep. Just so you know, she literally.
Chelsea said she gagged. What about the poop tube or butt tube? That was funny. That part in the beginning.
It was.
They exist, but yeah.
You're covering your face with the microphone.
Bree couldn't make it.
I don't know why you old lady, like halfway through, you just turn into a hag.
Kerbo said, "Okay, new book, unmuted." Oh God, okay, so that's a huge book. Yeah, it's not small.
That's not a huge book.
It's 620
That's not a book.
pages.
That's a book.
I know, Oathbringer. It's long. There is an audiobook for it. I wouldn't have chosen a book that doesn't have an audiobook because Kivox would never read it.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. Why would I waste my time? You want me to like sit at home?
I don't really want
It's a 10-hour book. It's going to take me 40 hours to read it if I had to physically read it. And also, I wouldn't remember anything.
It's basically like Japanese style book. I don't want to read the synopsis again. Look it up. It's got really good reviews right now so far. It's self-published.
So yeah, so
I think
we'll see like the 1 or 2 of you that end up reading it next month on the 25th.
Yeah, July 25th. Hopefully someone reads it with us or me if Kivox doesn't like it.
I'll read it, dude.
Better to die sharp in war than rust through a time of peace.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not excited about the premise. I also didn't listen to their synopsis when you read it.
Fantasy and martial arts aficionados alike should enjoy this emotionally supercharged novel.
At least it has fantasy in it. That's good.
It has magic. It's got like water bending.
Okay.
Raising the seed, wielding blades of ice.
Okay, you're selling me on it, like Celise Leon.
A boy that's like destined to fight for his land, and then someone else. Blah 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 blah. She's supposed to be like a good housewife and mother, but something or other. I don't know. When the winds of war reach their peninsula, will the Matsuda family have the strength to defend their empire, or will they tear each other apart before the true enemies ever reach their shores? We'll see. I'll be here for comic effect.
Nice.
That's it.
Okay. I mean, this is a great book. Whoever didn't read it. You guys, if you're here and you didn't read it, honestly, like you can get it for free.
If you've never signed up for Audible,
if you've never signed, or just get a new email. Make
address.
A new email account and get it for free. You're all set.
Or your library probably
you
might
can
have
get audiobooks at library.
Yeah.
Weird.
On like Libby.
I don't know what that is.
It's an app. It probably has like a 10-year wait.
Audible's better.
Well, it is because you don't have to wait.
You don't have to wait.
Our library sucks, so they probably don't even have it. They have the regular book, not the audiobook.
The physical book, you mean?
Like an ebook to borrow.
Oh, okay. Cool, guys. Thanks
for watching. It was so good. Yeah, thank you guys, and hope to see you for Sword of Kaigen. Does anyone want to read Sword of Kaigen? Raise of hands. Anyone? I hope you'll read it, T. I know that you probably don't own it because I don't think you own it. But yeah, hopefully you can get it there in Canada. Your library doesn't have it. That sucks. I know Audible has it, but I don't know if it's an Audible exclusive. Libraries won't be able to get the audio.
Then there you go. Make a new account. Problem solved. Thanks for watching.
Yep.
Make sure I hit that like button before you guys go.
Did your library really burn down? That's sad. We have the worst library. We live in like a smallish town, and the library is just terrible. They don't have anything. She'll have to wait until her credit becomes available on Audible. When is that? Just out of curiosity. Is it available to you on Audible at least? Because I know sometimes books you don't have available to you. And where does this? Oh, she lives in Wisconsin. The author works at a martial arts school. All right, guys. Have a good one. Bye, bye, bye.
Bye, bye, bye.
Bye, Meek. July 12th. Ooh.
Plenty of time. Plenty of time.
It's half a month.